Hi, I'm Sameer Jain, exploring the glorious Alsace wine region. The wine here will change your perception of what is a traditionally sweet Riesling that we often think about when we think of this area. Wine here is a true expression of the terroir, the soil. It's a true expression of the grape that makes a connection between the soil and the wine. In the same terroir, even if you use different grapes made by the same winemaker, the grape will give you the same flavor, largely because it reflects apparently the minerality, the soil, the philosophy of the wine that's grown through harvested of grapes here will be similar. So some of the wines here are bone dry, some are off dry, some medium sweet, and some if I was to wax eloquent, gloriously, decadently honeyed. So sweetness is measured by the level of residual sugar. Besides Riesling, Alsace produces quite a lot of Pinot Blanc, Pinot Gris, Gewurz Minor, and Cremant d'Alsace, which is a sparkling wine that is mushrooming in popularity all across the world. So if one is asked what really is the taste of Alsace wine, well, it's all about aromas here. Floral and peachy smells fly out of the glass, and many of the wines are great enough to pair nicely with fowl like roast quail. Alsace wines give the tingle of brilliant acidity, but they also offer a rich texture from moderate alcohol. Some wines are in the 14 to 15% ABV region. The producers here, and you'll see a lot of great producers here, if you can see it in my camera. So the producers here do not use oak aging to add spice and richness. Instead, they rely on a balance of ripeness and alcohol to fill out the flavor. Alsace wines are broken up by law, and these laws dictate everything from grape variety allowed to vineyard density. See how far apart these wines are from each other. So to understand the wines here, it helps to understand the three major types of Alsace categories. The first is what they call Alsace AOC, which is around 90% plus white still wines. Then there is the Cremant d'Alsace AOC, which is sparkling white and rosé wines. And then, of course, there is the majestic Alsace Grand Cru AOC, which is a limited special vineyard edition, and I am actually in a Grand Cru vineyard. So the general Alsace AOC requires that no less than 100% of the grape variety that is labeled be used. Everything must be labeled, and that's the only one that must be used. And this is quite different from US requirements that require maybe 70-75%, unless of course you're in Oregon. There are blends allowed in Alsace AOC, but they must be labeled Edel's Wicker, Gentle, or a named wine. So until recently, Edel's Wicker has always been considered by many as a low quality table wine, but I don't think so. I've had a few and I find them perfectly okay, but then I'm no connoisseur. So here we include wines that are white, that are rosé, that are red wines. The rosés and reds are made with Pinot Noir. The AOC is also allowed to label dessert wines as, and my French sucks, Vendanges Tardives and a Selection de Grands Nobles. So it's true that in Alsace, AOC wines allow to add sugar, which is a method where sugar is added to fermentation. but many producers are moving away from such winemaking techniques. The other great wine here category is the Crémant d'Alsace, which is around 20-25% of the total production in this area, and this is one of the fastest growing AOC categories here. It's a sparkling wine that produces shockingly good bubbly, using the same methods as in Champagne apparently. It's the only AOC that allows the local Chardonnay grapes to be used, but most of the wine, Brut style bubbly, is made with Pinot Blanc grapes, Pinot Gris and Pinot Noir. Then you have blended wines with Pinot Blanc that are called Blanc de Blancs and Riesling. Also, the rosé from this region is very special because it's 100% Pinot Noir, and that's the vineyard we are in right now. You can see them here. And the last category that I had mentioned was the Grand Cru AOC, which is special. It's just maybe 4% of the production. Of course, these rules change quite a bit for the Alsace Grand Cru AOC. There are around 50-55 Grand Cru plots that are only allowed to use a single variety, or they're allowed to blend just 4 official grapes. So people here commonly refer to the varieties as noble grapes, and they are Riesling, Pinot Gris, Muscat and the Gewürztraminer. So these grand wines have a higher minimum alcohol level, which requires much riper grapes. The grapes here haven't still ripened, and you can see the process of them getting ripened. This is still very early in the year. And the best grapes are on the low southern and southeastern facing slopes, where they get most of the sun. The Grand Crus here are rich, they're honeyed even if they are dry, and they are age worthy. So collectors remark at the smoky notes of these fine wines as they age. Of the Grand Crus, the Zostenberg in the Bas-Rhin is the only one which has with an allowed Sylvaner wine. And within this particularly large vineyard, we visited it a couple of days ago. It's as big as almost 40 acres. There is also a plot of Pinot Royer, which can be classified as an Alsace Grand Cru. The other thing to know is, while Riesling and Muscat are made in a dry style here, single variety Pinot Gris and Gewürztraminer are traditionally made in a slightly sweet off-dry style. Of course, this tradition, they say, is changing, so do pay attention to the tasting notes of a producer, or if you have some that come with your bottle of wine. There are also some large producers that distribute widely around the world, and the names that come to mind are Zin Humbrecht and Trimbach. This is very close to the border with Germany, so French, German names sort of coalesce. So if you were to only try 2 wines from this region, you must try a Crémant d'Alsace Rose, perhaps a Lucien Albrecht, and a Riesling. You can't go wrong. And these 2 wines will show you the amazing character of minerality and aroma of Alsace wine. So we are in wine country, and I'm signing off. I'll keep you posted. Thank you so much for listening in. Bye bye.